Cassidy Hutchinson, former aide to White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, gave a last-minute testimony that treated us to Trump's ketchup throwing, Secret Service fighting, witness tampering, and more. Select all images with how Donald Trump decorates. Ketchup, 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 ketchup. Verify. It is pouring MAGA tears as Donald Trump takes to his dumpster-fire cult platform in an attempt to distract and discredit, while supporters such as Marjorie Taylor Greene try and fail to defend the twisted Trump fever dream. Thanks for tuning in to this midweek short. Scarface's slow cousin tweeted,
"Hey guys, I haven't seen Democrats this mad since yesterday."
Naturally, I replied, "Hot tweet from the permanently powdered guy whose main position at the White House was following Diaper Dawn around with a sack of spare ketchup bottles, so Trump always had one at the ready to slop on his burnt steaks and rage throw at the walls."
Around the time that I understand the AP article went live, I remember hearing noise coming from down the hallway, so I poked my head out of the office, and I saw the valet walking towards our office. He had said, "Get the chief down to the dining room, the president wants him." So Mark went down to the dining room and came back to the office a few minutes later. After Mark had returned, I left the office and went down to the dining room, and I noticed that the door was propped open and the valet was inside the dining room changing the tablecloth off of the dining room table. He motioned for me to come in and then pointed towards the front of the room near the fireplace mantle and the TV, where I first noticed there was ketchup dripping down the wall and there's a shattered porcelain plate on the floor.
If someone said Obama or even Bush did this, it would be ludicrous. But when we hear about the guy that sat at a tiny desk yelling at reporters, chucking ketchup grenades at the wall, we go, yep, that sounds about right.
The valet had articulated that the president was extremely angry at the Attorney General's AP interview and had thrown his lunch against the wall, which was causing them to have to clean up. So I grabbed a towel and started wiping the ketchup off of the wall to help the valet out.
"You people have to understand that I don't like the truth. It's not my fault. I don't think the truth is a fair thing. And when I am confronted with the truth, I have to throw whatever's in my hand, and that's usually going to be some food, and it will always have the ketchup on it because I'm a ketchup fan."
And he said something to the effect of, "He's really ticked off about this. I would stay clear of him for right now. He's really, really ticked off about this right now."
And this is the same guy who was worried about people throwing fruit at him.
"You gotta be careful because there could be dangerous fruit. It could be lethal."
See, he's thrown enough meals to know that it can make a dent.
We always point out that there's not a pushback, and it would have been great to hear Jim Jordan or some congressman say some other angle to this, but the testimony in and of itself is really, really powerful.
Sandra, are you still here?
Indeed, yes, I am here. No, Brett, to your point, I just wonder for the country watching this in this moment, how much this changes what people believed or did not believe.
Even on Fox News, they're like, what do we do? What do we say? How am I going to BS out of this one? Fantastic.
So once the president had gotten into the vehicle with Bobby, he thought that they were going up to the Capitol, and when Bobby had relayed to him, "We're not, we don't have the assets to do it, it's not secure, we're going back to the West Wing," the president had very strong, a very angry response to that. Tony described him as being irate. The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now." To which Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing." The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Ornato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
And again, the right-wing media is trying to say this is impossible because he was in the beast. He had a button. He lowered it. Of course he would. It's Trump.
And was Mr. Engel in the room as Mr. Ornato told you this story?
He was.
Did Mr. Engel correct or disagree with any part of the story from Mr. Ornato?
Mr. Engel did not correct or disagree with any part of the story.
Did Mr. Engel or Mr. Ornato ever after that tell you that what Mr. Ornato had just said was untrue?
Neither Mr. Ornato nor Mr. Engel told me ever that it was untrue.
So Secret Service agent Anthony Ornato told Hutchinson this in the presence of Secret Service detail Bobby Engel, who did not correct or disagree with any part of this story, and she was willing to say this under oath, and a right-wing bot army trended Amber Heard 2.0. Marjorie Dog the Bounty Hunter Green tweeted,
Cassidy Hutchinson lied, and the January 6th committee held a special hearing today to broadcast her lies. In 23, every single one of them need to be held accountable for what they're putting Pres Trump, his admin, and Republicans through on the people's dime. Enough of this.
Naturally, I replied, top left corner perjury Trader Green. That sweet little bit about Trump having a switch to lower the glass partition. He fingered that thing like he was at summer camp. Yeah.
Gotta lower the partition so I can strangle this guy, take control of the wheel. I don't know how to drive, but I'll see if I can get us back to the Capitol. Gotta get back to my people. They're so wonderful.
Rear compartment. Seats president and up to 4 passengers with glass partition. Only Trump has a switch to lower it. This was Marjorie Taylor Greene's big aha moment. Like, there's no way this could have happened because there's a partition. And then she tweets out a graphic with the description of a switch that puts the partition down. Like, you can't make this up. This is how stupid these people are. This is what we're dealing with. It's painful. I know. Trump had a few kind things to say on Truth Social.
She changed lawyers a couple days ago, and with it, her story totally changed. Shocker.
Yeah, she escaped, like, the mafia Trump lawyers and got her own.
I hardly know who this person, Cassidy Hutchinson, is, other than I heard very negative things about her. A total phony and a leaker.
When Trump says he hardly knows her, it's because he thought about her a lot. In the pants. Especially since the yellow tape guy thinks she's a leaker. That just levels her up for him. Here's Cassidy on Air Force One, so close to Trump she can smell the spray tan on his face and the ketchup in his diapers.
Alex here, still broadcasting from my Patriot bunker with Marjorie. Again, good dude. Been a heavy day in many ways. MTG blasted through an entire box of Patriot Blonde Meat Swamp tampons and has been glued to her phone, keeping on top of the libs by tweeting facts about the totally fake hearings that we are definitely not at all worried about. Not at all. I gotta be honest with you, I will admit I do have some worries in my life. 5G towers, microchips, the flying dog from the never-ending story, but mainly it's the sight of the mortadella meat stump, hammered spam can, Freddy Krueger face feet attached to the Mickey Rourke and the wrestler-looking politician that I do love, but we have a rule.
The socks stay on.
The socks stay on. In fact, Alex is having a tough time. MTG, you gotta double up. This is a 2-pair day. Marjorie's been tweeting nonstop, and I think it's a turn on that she's so into it, but it's also a waste because Don Jr. told everyone not to watch it, and he has 6,000 views on Rumble, so the entire flat earth got the command to not watch this bogus witch hunt. It really is just her pacing bunker circles on those masked road squirrel feet while she chimes in with the liberal fake news. Did you put the second pair on or not? Their socks stay on.
As Mr. Giuliani and I were walking to his vehicles that evening, he looked at me and said something to the effect of, Cass, are you excited for the 6th? It's going to be a great day. I remember looking at him and saying, Rudy, could you explain what's happening on the 6th? He had responded something to the effect of, we're going to the Capitol. It's going to be great. The president's going to be there. He's going to look powerful. He's going to be with the members. He's going to be with the senators. Talk to the chief about it. Talk to the chief about it. He knows about it.
You know, if Cassidy were a fella, he would not be strolling to the car, bigging up Cheeto. I'm surprised he didn't get her to help him with his belt or check out his hair dye. Stephanie Grissom, former chief of staff and press secretary to First Lady Melania Trump, tweeted out a text exchange between her and the First Lady on January 6. Do you want to tweet that peaceful protests are the right of every American, but there is no place for lawlessness and violence? Melania's reply is so compassionate and eloquent. No. Stephanie resigned from her position that night. I'm done with these crazy people.
Did you hear that Mr. Trump at one point wanted to add language about pardoning those who took part in the January 6th riot?
I did hear that, and I understand that Mr. Meadows was encouraging that language as well.
Thank you, and here's what you told us previously about that.
You said he was instructed not to include it. Who was instructing him not to include language about the pardon in that January 7th?
I understood from White House counsel's office coming into our office that morning that they didn't think that it was a good idea to include that in the speech.
That being Pat Cipollone?
That's correct.
Trump wanted to talk pardons then and there for the people who were chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." The people who would have ripped most elected officials to pieces had they gotten their hands on any. And in case you're not aware, in May 2021, Canada classified the Proud Boys as a terrorist entity. They're on the same list as Al-Qaeda. The hearing's final reveal showed alleged efforts to intimidate witnesses into concealing what they knew about the Capitol attack and the Trump White House's connection to it. A person let me know you have your deposition tomorrow. He wants me to let you know that he's thinking about you. He knows you're loyal and you're going to do the right thing when you go in for your deposition. What they said to me is, as long as I continue to be a team player, they know that I'm on the team. I'm doing the right thing. I'm protecting who I need to protect. You know, I'll continue to stay in good graces in Trump world. And they have reminded me a couple times that Trump does read transcripts, and just to keep that in mind as I proceeded with my depositions and interviews with the committee. Lauren is fighting for the USA, and you are too dumb to understand that. MAGA tears. So you are basically a paid communist. MAGA tears. Another leftoid channel. Color me surprised. Yawn. MAGA tears. You make me want to cancel my Netflix subscription. MAGA tears. Thanks so much for watching. Help me out by sharing this video or posting it on your social media. It'll cost you nothing and makes a huge difference for me. If you can afford to, please hit the super thanks button or tip me via PayPal, and be sure to check out my mugs and stickers that go great with those MAGA tears. I am a stand-up comedian. I've played in 35 countries. I've supported Jim Jefferies on 5 of his tours. I have 3 albums on Spotify and Apple Music. Be sure to check them out. Life's short. Be cool, be kind, take care.